Hello everyone, welcome to yet another book haul. I figured I may as well film this now because it's the 29th of June on a Tuesday, and I probably won't be getting any more books this month because it's going to be July here pretty soon. So I'll probably just film this now and then maybe upload it today or later on, we'll see. But these are all the books that I had acquired in June. Yes, even though I am working on reducing quite a bit, and I've actually gotten rid of almost at least 200 books. I am, alas, a magnet, and somehow managed to bring home a few books with me every time I go out to whichever place. This occasion being no exception. So, these are mostly from rummage sales and charity shops, and a couple books that I've actually bought new, but I've not bought them for ludicrous prices. That's because I've got them as bargain books. So, I suppose we shall first start off with these few books that I got from rummage sales. Okay, so firstly we have here this very nice little King James Bible here that I've showed off with the thumb index, and it's a very nice little thing. It's nice and compact. I was looking for one that was, this size and genuine leather. If you buy a little Bible like this, brand new, printed by Cambridge, buy it from Amazon, it will cost you $41. This here cost me $1. And I was very, very pleased to find this, and I've been using it ever since the beginning of the month. It's a very nice little Bible. This, I believe, was also... Is this Cambridge? No, this is Air and Spottiswoode Limited. Very nice Bible. So that's the first thing I got. Only $1. Just to let you know, if you're looking for books, do not just disregard rummage sales, because you'll be able to find some great stuff. Like this, for instance. We have here the original, well, not original, but the novel of Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, which I did not have. I thought I had it, but apparently I did not. And I was looking for this for a number of years because I wanted to read the original source material. Obviously, this was a play at first, and then it was adapted into a novel, but I may as well read it, just to read it. I got this actually for free at a rummage sale, because my brother was buying a few things and such, and this was originally 50 cents, and so we just threw it in with his stock, and I got this for free. So another reason why to rely on rummage sales for books if you can't find any place else. So there's that. This is kind of an interesting book. This is probably one read and then I'll throw it away because it's in just absolutely dreadful condition. This is a book I bought for my mother, actually, and I had been reading little bits out of it myself and found it to be surprisingly well written, even though the book is by this particular person. That is Between Two Worlds, Lessons from the Other Side by Medium Tyler Henry. Obviously, he has that program on the Learning Channel. I don't remember what Hollywood Medium, that's the name of it, and such. And not the Learning Channel, it was Hollywood Network. But I bought this for Mum because she very much is into I don't want to say the paranormal, but spiritualism and such, and she very much liked his program, and I thought this might be a good read for her. There's some pictures in there too. It's kind of water damaged. So, like I said, I'll probably read this once and then just immediately throw it away. But surprisingly, it's very well written. I thought because this guy's basically just a kid, it would be just dreadful writing. But no, it's actually fairly competent. So I'll give that a read maybe. Not my usual fare, but most certainly will try that. Alright, next here we have a book to replace a book. As you know, I had unhauled a copy of The House of the Spirits by Isabel Allende because I had committed the unpardonable sin of annotating a book and had very much regretted it. So I was at an estate sale looking through the house just to see if there were any books. I saw this one and I said, I've read that a long time ago. I got rid of a copy. I needed another one. I figured I may as well get it. It's only $1. And I got this nice little paperback of The House of the Spirits. Not my favorite novel I read in school. I found it to be very tell, don't show in parts and wasn't particularly that well written. A lot of the vocabulary seemed to be very basic in nature. And I'm not really too keen on the whole magic realism aspect in literature, but if it's done properly, then I suppose it's fine. I might give this a reread. I believe it deserves a revisit because it's been about 3 or 4 years at least since I wasn't forced, but since I read this in school. So I'll give that another read. Another rummage sale. This is a treat. This really is a treat. Which is another reason why do not simply disregard these rummage sales. Do not snub them. You need to go to them because you'll find gems like this. We have here a volume of the works of Victor Hugo. Now, this part of the spine is coming apart, but I could very easily glue that back into place. But it has quite a bit of content in here. It has a lot of his poetry, which I've not read, and I'm very much looking forward to. Of course, it has The Hunchback as a novel, and it has also some crime stories in here, including The Last Days of a Condemned Man, which I have been very fierce to read for quite a while. And a few other things in there, some essays on humanity and a whole bunch of interesting stuff. I was very thrilled when I found this. So, once again, rely on rummage sales if you can't find anything else in the bookshops. And oftentimes, you'll get them for amazingly reasonable prices. $1. So, there you go. Obviously, I showed this in an earlier video this month. It was when I compared the KJV to this, and this is the New American Standard Bible. I've been reading out of this on and off. It seems to be a fairly okay translation. It seems to actually be mostly in line with the King James Version. And it does seem to... Some of the errors that are made in this version here are corrected and seem to make a bit more sense. So I believe this is a good translation thus far. I will be hopefully giving you an update on this maybe sometime soon as to how I fared with it and how I thought, the rest of it was executed and such. So there will be maybe another video on that. And got that at my local bookshop. Along with, I don't know if I should include this in the whole, but I will be comparing the KJV with the New International Version here fairly soon. So look forward to that video. Okay, now for some books that I actually got brand new. Now, I very rarely buy books brand new. In fact, I don't even buy books when they're released because most of the books I read are fairly old. They're either like literary fiction or classics or just anything that has been published within the last 150 years. And so I don't buy new books hardly at all. And also because they happen to be fairly exorbitant and expensive. But I did make an exception for these two hardback books. It's also very rare that I do buy a hardback book. If it were my choice, all of the books in this library would be either hardback or Penguin paperbacks, because paperbacks, they get the job done, but they are not ideal for aestheticism or just preserving the general integrity of a book. But anyhow, I got these two here. I got one from a grocer, actually. I saw this book in the bargain book bin. I recognized the author's name. It was only $6, and $6 might seem a bit steep, but I figured, I don't know, what the heck, I may as well give it a try. And the author is Alexander McCall Smith, and the book in question is The Good Pilot, Peter Woodhouse. This here is one of his standalone novels. I have not read any of his #1 Ladies Detective Agency or his 44 Scotland Street books or any of his other series that he is most known for. But I did find this, and I don't know. It's short. Wouldn't really take it that long to read, so I may as well give it a try. Maybe I might like it. I don't know. There he is right there. But yeah, $6. I figured, why not? I saw it there. I may as well give him a try. We'll see. I may like him, I might not. I don't know. We'll see. And then this book here, I actually got at $10 Slimer's favorite location at which to shop, the Dollar Tree. Yes, the Dollar Tree not only is a great place to find movies and DVDs, but it is also a veritable gold mine for books, bargain books, books that are brand new, that are marked down by 90%. I would recommend wholeheartedly to go to the Dollar Tree if you're looking for new books. And this book is no exception. I saw this because I recognized the author's name. I hadn't seen any other books by him in any bookshops, and I figured I saw this. There were a couple of copies lying about. It was only $1. It's a hardback, and I figured I may as well go ahead and give it a go. And the book here is First Person by Richard Flanagan. You see the deckled edges there. Ahab didn't know what to call these. They're actually called deckled edges. They do this because back in the 18th century, when they started printing books, it was very common for books to the pages to be bound, like, if I can get a sheet of paper here, like this, to be folded together. And basically the way that you read the book is a lot of people back then carried a knife on them, and you basically, or a letter opener, it doesn't matter what, but you take the book, and then when you read a page, you stick your knife in between this part of the paper, and then cut it open to reveal the next page. And then you can always tell if anybody has finished a book or not because of the page edges being deckled. And this kind of practice is not seen too much anymore, but it is replicated very nicely in deckled edges. So there you go, Ahab. If you wanted to know what those are, they are called deckled edges. So yes, and since it's a hardback. There's Mr. Flanagan right there. I read I know I shouldn't do this, but I read the synopsis and it sounded very interesting. So, I don't know. If I don't like it, it was only $1. So, yeah. Okay, these next few books, actually how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. These next 14 books are all from various charity shops and such. And I didn't get them for quite as reasonable prices as I would like, but I was looking for a whole bunch of these. And to find them they were grails, let's just say. They were holy grails for me. Some of them, though, were not. I bought them on impulse because I figured it's cheap enough, I may as well give them a try. So, we'll see. Alright, so the first book I got here, I heard of the travel writer Bill Bryson. I've not read him, though. I heard that he's very much revered on BookTube and such, and is very comedic and all. But I found one of his books here. This isn't a travel book, but this is still a book by him, and that is The Mother Tongue, English and How It Got That Way. This is, I suppose, his study on the English language and how it has evolved through the years. And there he is on the back there. So, it's a thin book. I figured I may as well give it a shot, and yeah, there it is. I'm familiar with the Japanese writer Yukio Mishima, as I've read his book, what's it called, After the Banquet, and found it to be quite a surprise. And I was looking for other books by him, mainly The Sailor Who Fell from Grace from the Sea, and The Golden Temple and such, of the Golden Temple of something or other. But I found this one, and it was affordable, so I may as well get it. That was The Sound of Waves. So, yeah. I'd heard of Ruth Rendell, the mystery writer, and as you know, I like a good mystery every once in a while, particularly if it, I suppose, is in the avant-garde field and genre. I'm not too sure about Ruth Rendell, though, because I've not read her, but we'll definitely see about her. I got her book, A Sleeping Life. Very thin little thing, so it shouldn't take too long to read. So, there's that. I collect V.S. Naipaul. I'm yet to read him, though. But I will most certainly give him a go at one point. And I saw this book here at a thrift shop and just had to get it because not only is it a hardback, but it was very affordable. And that is The Return of Eva Peron with the Killings in Trinidad. This is an essay collection, and it's also got deckled edges. So, yeah, that might be an interesting thing to look at. I can't remember how much this was, but it wasn't that much. That was one thrift shop. Now we go to another thrift shop, and got a couple grails here too. Oh dear, I just rumpled one page here with a Pokemon card. Hang on. There we go. So, for a very long time, I was trying to get into the Discworld series by Terry Pratchett, but had no idea where to start, and really couldn't find any of his novels anywhere that I looked, in any bookshop anyway. And so when I happened to stumble into this one thrift shop, I found one of his books, and this title in particular is Witches Abroad. I've heard various things about Terry Pratchett. I heard he's very humorous. I hear he's like unto Douglas Adams, except he does fantasy. But I don't know. I'm not sure if any of you have read him or not. If you have, let me know. But I will most certainly give him a try with this one here. I know there's like 40-odd books in the Discworld series, and this might be my introduction, so we'll see. We just got a Wallace Stigner book, Remembering Laughter. Not read Wallace Stigner, but I picked it up because it's a thin little read, and I might be introduced to him through this. I don't know, we'll see. I got here A Landscape Painted with Tea by Milorad Pavik. This is a vintage international edition, and the synopsis sounded fairly interesting, and vintage international editions are always worth buying, in my opinion. So I figured I couldn't go wrong with this, and it was only like $1, I think. So there you are. And now here's a grail. This is a holy grail of mine. I've been looking for this book for many years, and I was just so utterly delighted to find it at this one charity shop that it was just so... Oh, I was just so giddy. I was looking for this for quite some time. And I have one book by this author that was made into a very famous film. And this book here was made into, I believe, an Amazon Prime Video series. And we're looking for it for years. And I finally found it. And that is The Man in the High Castle by Philip K. Dick. There he is there. And... yeah, I found it at last. I was looking for I don't know how many years, but I finally did find it. So I was thrilled when I found that. I think, hang on, wasn't there a picture of little Miss Terry Pratchett in here? Yeah, there's Terry right there. And I think there was a picture of Wallace right there. Yep, right there. Okay. All right, we're good? Yes, we're good. Is there one of VS? No. I don't know why I like to show you pictures of authors in their books. It's just an odd fascination I have. I'm not too sure. Anyhow. Alright, then we get another little stack of books here we got from yet another charity shop. And I was just looking there, just to look there to see if I could find anything of interest. And I came across this book, which I sort of bought thinking, it might be an interesting little read. I might not keep it forever, but it might be an interesting little read. You know, myself being a Christian and such, and still wanting to explore the faith a bit more. And that's How to Be a Christian in an Unchristian World by Fritz. Rita Noor, how do you say his name? It's got pictures in it, little cartoons in there. Might be interesting to read, and it's also got this note card here with some helpful scriptures. So that's nice. I don't know, it might be a good way to spend a rainy afternoon, so we'll see. Oh my goodness, this book here was another grail. I tell you, I was looking for this book for so many years. And I couldn't find it anywhere, not even in Arizona. And to find it just out of the blue at this one charity shop for $2 was just so incredible to me. And this will be one of my next reads. It's a classic science fiction book. It's up there with the Foundation novels and Dune and such and all that. And it was made into a semi-successful film, which I've not seen, but I will read this book, and it's Starship Troopers by Robert A. Heinlein. You've no idea how long I've been searching for this book. I'm so happy that I found it. So, there we are. Don't you just love the sense of accomplishment that you feel after having found a book for which you've been searching for years? It's like nothing else. It really is. It really, really is. Then I found here this little book by Nathaniel Hawthorne, a wonder book for girls and boys. I believe this is just his retelling of the Greek myths. Might be interesting to give a little read, and it adds to my Nathaniel Hawthorne collection. I got this mainly because of the name of the author. It's by Robert Crichton, no relation to Michael Crichton. But it seems to be like an interesting little... Might be an interesting little family epic. of sorts, and that is The Camerons by Robert Crichton. Might be, you can see it's very interesting cover there with the plaid and such and all this. And I don't know, might be an interesting little read, so we'll see how that fares. I've been meaning to read this book for a while, but the only edition in which I had it was an Eastern Press edition, and I really didn't want to ruin that edition at all with just one read. And so when I found this copy at that thrift shop, I decided to get it. That's Fathers and Sons by Ivan Turjanev, a Russian novel about nihilism. It's a very short thing. I'll give it a read someday in the not too distant future. So, yeah, there we go. This is also another book to replace another book that I unhauled, and that's Plato's The Trial and Death of Socrates, yeah. So, yeah. And then this last pile of books here we got at my local bookshop, Beachtown Books. Yes, the one to which I had donated several books that I have unhauled. And we got a couple of books from there. We have here a Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. Did not have a copy of this, actually, outside of an Eastern Press edition, so I decided to get this, because why not? I wanted to read it, so yeah. We got here this interesting little book. It was in a New York Review Books edition, which tend to be fairly good, fairly reputable titles. So we'll see how this goes. It's a very short thing. It's only about, 70 pages, but it's called Rock Crystal by Adalbert Stifter. And you can see it's a very thin thing. And it might be an interesting little Christmas story. We'll see. Second to last book, penultimate book, we have... I was looking for this for quite some time. I saw it at the bookshop. But then, all of a sudden, it disappeared for many months. And I could not find it anywhere. I looked up and down, in and out, right and left, everywhere through this bookshop. I could not find this book at all. And I was just thinking, yeah, somebody probably picked it up and such, and I'm just not going to worry about it anymore. But then all of a sudden, when I was out of the house, because, it's not important really, and I was staying in a hotel, and it was within reasonable propinquity of the bookshop, I decided, to check back up on it. And apparently I found it. And I'm very glad for it. And that's The Bone People by Kerry Hume. This is a very classic book from New Zealand, which I'm very anxious to read, so we'll see how that is. And then finally, this book surprised me. I was familiar with the poetry of E.E. Cummings and his sort of avant-garde-ish style, and had very much admired his poetry, and had no idea that he had written a novel up until very recently. And I came across this in the bookshop and decided to pick it up. That is The Enormous Room by him. And my bookshop has this very unusual system in which, it's been handed to various people over the years. It's gone through several hands and such. It's gone out of business. It's gone back into business. A very long story that I don't want to get into necessarily. But essentially, they have a very strange system in which they take books and they put stickers at the bottom of them. And it's usually the first 3 letters of the author's name so that they can categorize them and such. I usually take those stickers off of books and put them, where is it? On this little book here. This is my list of books to get or to read. And I put them on the front of this cover as sort of like a little trophy. I'm like the Predator, but with stickers. So the Sticketer or something. But yes. And I don't care what you say. I refuse to remove this sticker. Because look. I don't know if you can see that, but I just refuse to remove that. I'm sorry. Anyhow, that is it. That's just a little book haul that I did for the month of June of the year 2021. I'm about to kill a moth. I didn't. And I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you have a good morning, evening, afternoon, midnight, midday, whenever you happen to see this. And we will see you here in the next video. Cheers.